Welcome back, Flare community. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. Who we got in the house today? We've got Tasmanian, we've got TRT, Valiant Energy, aka John D. We've got Crypto Granny in the house, Rain, Anna, Jimmy. We've got AA Best, Nazmia, Metal Chew, Crypto Bob, Jetty, Draco, of course. Senor State coming in last. I hope you're all well. And yeah, I've actually had quite a crazy weekend. On Thursday, I actually went to go meet with some of the Upper Cent team, the co-founders, both Jake and Mark, and that was a lot of fun actually. We was talking about Upper Cent in quite some detail and the Flare network, and it was a really good opportunity to sort of get to know them a little bit better. But on to this week's news. You know how it goes. Each and every week we run through the daily, or the weekly news, sorry, and see what's happening on both Songbird and the Flare network. So we're going to jump in here on Flare metrics this time, and this is a site where you can get the metrics for the various signal providers. So in first place, we have Flare Beacon, top in the charts. In second place, we have Atlas TSO. Third place, Evolve FTSO. And in fourth place, we have Flare Dienst. And in fifth place, we have Alpha Oracle. All of these are oversubscribed in terms of vote power. So yeah, it looks like we've got quite a bit. Some of them are actually oversubscribed a little bit further down, which is quite interesting. But yeah, looking pretty good. We're going to jump over to the NFTs right now. And let me quickly just go on here, view all. And in fact, let me try and blow this up a little bit for you. So we got the Fat Cats coming in top with, well, quite a bit of volume, 1.74 million SGB, total volume over 20 million. That's quite an achievement. In second place, we have Songbird City from the S-Toads project. We've got in third place, Luxury Lofts, again from the S-Toads project. In fourth place, the S-Toads project. And in fifth place, the Fat Tigers. The Fat Kittens have actually just recently launched, and they're in the top 7. So it's actually quite interesting. If you look at this, all of the top 7 are part of just 2 projects, the Fat Cats and the S-Toads. So congratulations to anyone who got in on these. The Fat Kittens drop just happened very recently. I'm going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. But before we do, I just wanted to say a big congratulations to the Lucky Claw holder, number 494. They won 50,000 FLR, a Flare Apes NFT, Pixel Plants NFT built by none other than Doc Bob D, the Flare Community Poker Deck, and an Expector Bronze package. Now, some of these do require you to get in contact with me, because I can't find out who the winner is just by looking on the blockchain. I can send all of the FLR, the NFTs, and all that stuff, but to get your address, I will need your address to send the poker deck. So just a pre-warning, if that is you, please do let me know either in Discord or drop me a message on Twitter, and we can get that sorted. Moving on, this is some interesting stuff in terms of proposals. Following the success of STP02, that's Songbird Test Proposal, obviously on the Songbird network, the Flare Improvement Proposal, the third Flare Improvement Proposal, introduces a secondary reward band. And we could, basically, the Flare team did an analytical report where they showed how this was beneficial. It didn't cause any detriment towards the accuracy, but it was much more inclusive. Here we go. This is the quote that I wanted to give you. The introduction of the secondary reward band increased the percentage of reward providers from approximately 25% to 66%. So from 1/4 to 2/3. That means that it's more inclusive and it's more welcoming for the people that are providing the infrastructure to actually support the network. Currently, on the Flare network, as previously on Songbird, the rewards were very concentrated at the top, and I'm definitely voting in favor of this. And if you want to, you can check out the Flare website over on, I think it's flare.portal. In a similar vein here, we have a new proposal for the Songbird network, and that is to bring the inflation in line with that is on the Flare network. And one of the most important things that I like about this is that the inflation actually gradually trends towards 0%. Now, a lot of people, especially on the Flare side of things, are saying how bad the inflation is, but to be honest, the Flare drops are not actually part of inflation. They're already minted, they're in an escrowed account, a smart contract, and they get released. That's not part of the inflation, but the way that Songbird does it now, it's sort of the old way, and they want to realign these contracts, and this is what this proposal goes over, and you can actually check it out. If you check out some of Flare's most recent tweets, you can find them all here and read about the proposal itself and when and how you can vote. This is something from DeFi Divi. He often posts these little rankings, which I think are just pretty interesting. You know, a lot of people have been selling SGB, a lot of people have been buying SGB, and it's interesting to see how all of these rankings actually fluctuate during volatile times. So, you know, one thing that I will say is that this is more just for your own purposes to see how you rank up against the world. I wouldn't go sharing how much you have, because you could essentially be putting a target on your head. So, you know, if I was to ever recommend something, it would be just to keep your holdings private at all times. You know, no, there's definitely no harm in that. We're going to sort of jump into the DeFi side of things now, and this one is very big, actually, I think. USDT is now on Songbird. This is Tether, and it's probably the most liquid and utilized stablecoin on the Ethereum network in the world. So that's coming over to Songbird via a bridge, and this is being built out by Enosis, formerly FLR Finance. There's going to be a daily limit of 50,000 USDT and a minimum transaction, of 1,000 USDT. So potentially, you know, at the very minimum, at the very maximum, there's going to be 50 chances to get in during this daily limit. LPs or liquidity pools will be opened on Enosis DEX after an initial period to allow for sufficient liquidity. So you're going to have to wait until some of the liquidity has been bridged and provided, and then we will start to see some new liquidity pools and some new trading on the decentralized exchange. And this honestly is really, really big. You know, Enosis are doing a great job in sort of bridging assets onto Songbird because it's very much needed. And I've always been saying this, that, you know, artists, and I know Johnny Lawrence has been calling out for this for quite some time, artists may want to sell a piece of their work, but they may not want to list it in Songbird because the price of Songbird is fluctuating all the time, right? So to have a stable coin, it's going to appeal to a lot of artists that can say, here's the dollar value that I want for my work. And granted, the US dollar does fluctuate in price, but it's not as volatile as some of these digital assets that we know and love. Moving on, we've got the Blaze Swap account talking about the support for the Flare drop. Now, this is actually really big as well because, you know, even though Blaze Swap is on the Flare network, I don't feel like a lot of people really want to provide liquidity for these liquidity pools, right? Because if you don't actually receive the Flare drop, then there's not that much incentive to get some of the transaction fees for being part of the liquidity pool. Now, with this update, which is due to go on or roll out on the Flare mainnet on Monday the 19th, that's actually today, I'm hoping that we're going to see a lot more liquidity come onto the DEXs. Time will tell. I know that Enosis are planning to do this straight out of the gate, so we'll sort of see. I'll keep my eyes on this and keep you updated. Again, the third piece of DeFi news here is coming from Oracle Swap, who are partnering with Nexus and OneChain to bridge or to bring new bridges to Songbird. Native bridges between the following assets on Songbird. We've got the XRP, we've got XDC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, and OneChain. And again, this is interesting. You know, I'm imagining that this XDC is going to be a different smart contract. You know, it's not going to be the same XDC that we see on Enosis, which is kind of, how can I say it? It's fragmenting the liquidity, right? I think it would be better to just have one XDC asset, but there is no way around it this way. You know, I think the main intention was to have F assets as the predominant and most liquid version of a derivative, such as XDC or USDT, right? So we're just going to have to see how this plays out, and it's going to be an interesting battle, actually, of the dexes to see who comes on top. We've got 4 in the running, I believe. We've got Oracle Swap, we've got Pangolin, we've got Blaze Swap, and Enosis. They're all going to be fighting for your liquidity, and it's going to be pretty rewarding to you as a user to sort of see what they can pull out the bag to entice you to provide liquidity for their platform. Right, moving on. We've got some news here for FTSO AU delegators. If you did delegate during the 88th epoch, you're actually eligible to claim some FCC, Flare Community Coin, and you can do that over on the Flare Community website. That's theflarecommunity.com, and you click over here on claim, and there you go. It will just be here. You'll open it up, you'll have a nice little pop-up, and you'll be able to connect your wallet and then claim. So that's that. I am going to be working on the Lucky Claw claiming next, or in the near future. That's a smart contract that allows you to claim Flare Community Coin basically every second if you hold a Lucky Claw NFT. If you are holding some FCC, there is the very first Flare Community Coin poker tournament happening 1 week today. So if you've got a bronze tournament ticket, again, you can actually just find this on the website. You go here, you go to the store, and we've obviously got a list of the tickets here, all different tiers. And if you've got one of these, you can actually use it to participate in the tournament. So we're going to arrange this and organize it on Discord. This is the official time voted on by the token holders, and I really hope you can make it. It's going to be a lot of fun, lots of prizes to give. We've got FLR, we've got FCC, and also some NFTs too. As I mentioned at the start, we've got the Fat Cats. They're currently going through the minting process for their fat kittens, and they're actually sort of releasing a lot of prizes for various traits. And if you want to check them out, you can sort of see here, look, 50,000 nuclear bomb prize. That's if they sell out. Pretty crazy, but lots of smaller prizes as well, $1,000. And you got these upgrades in membership and whatnot. But yeah, pretty interesting. You know, I quite like this, you know, giving back to the community. They open a mint, very successful project, as we know. In fact, we did the podcast with them in the very early days, and I'm sure many of the people in the audience right now listening to this stream may have actually managed to get some. So congratulations to you. This project has been an absolutely massive hit, and they're doing some great things. And I can't wait to see what they're going to build, both with the Catalyst and their metaverse. It's going to be interesting. I think this is one to watch out for. But that's pretty much it. Before we wrap up here, I did want to just sort of bring this as a bit of a pick-me-up here. Sentiment is low due to the recent price action. We know that Songbird's been going down. We know that FLR's been going down. But, you know, you should sort of maybe consider seeing that as a positive, right? You can't buy low and sell high by buying an asset at the top, right? Most are emotionally invested. That's the main thing. You know, you shouldn't be emotionally invested. You can't stomach the price fluctuations, or sorry, most can't stomach the price fluctuations because they are emotionally invested. And a lot of people have already left the space. The people that are watching this video right now live, you've sort of gone through the hardest part of the market, I believe, and this is obviously just speculation, but you know, the way that the markets work and the psychology behind it is that they sort of grind you down over a long period of time, and the bull runs happen in a fraction of the time that you see of a bear market, right? So a bear market may last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and the short space in a bull market may be 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you know, something like that, you know. So it's a long waiting game, and you do have to be persistent and patient. The few that remain will reap the rewards because it's at the bottom where you get the best returns, not at the top. Don't go buy in at all-time highs, because then you're doing the opposite of the way that you make money, right? Buy low, sell high. If you're buying at the top, then it's going to be harder to sell even higher, right? Just a little bit of a little nugget right there of information, but that's pretty much wrapping up this week's news. Lots of exciting stuff. I'm sure you'll agree. I'm particularly excited about this. Enosis bringing the Ethereum bridge in the form of USDT at first over to Songbird. I'm going to see how this evolves and sort of talk strategies in the coming weeks and months ahead. So with that being said, if you are a member of the Patreon group, please feel free to jump over here onto the Flare Community Discord, scroll right to the bottom. We're going to be here in the Patreon call for the next hour or so, having a good old chinwag. And if you can't make it, have an incredible week. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.
We have liftoff.